You have to have faith to get through. What are you doing? You're acting like, oh, this is
He's
so
enjoying the
sad.
interview.
Well, it's getting really sunny, so he's just enjoying the warmth of the sunshine. He's such a sweet boy. And he would say the world is going to shake up again, Linda, with good and evil. And we're in it right now, no doubt. And I always say, look, we just have to try harder and be better and help our friends to breathe and take a breath. But right now, I mean, we're crying in the animal rescue world because there are so many more like Louie. There's no room, there's no space, and we hit the holidays and people are trying to travel. But there's a lot of people that got sick from COVID and they had animals and then they needed to go somewhere. So, it's been really hard. But the shelters are screaming for help along with the rescues, and you can help in your community. Call them, ask them, can I foster? Can I come and clean, volunteer, walk dogs, clean cages, do things, and blankets. Buffalo, New York, recently with the snowstorm. That
Yeah.
was also early, or the hurricane that hit Florida and Texas. These are devastating times. And we work with rescues all around the country. Where are you going to move? When are you going to move? Because it's emergency evacuation. That's really what I was born out of, is the emergency rescue. Hurricane Katrina was, let me tell you, that stuff will leave you with PTSD because
Yeah.
it's something, that's real. I tell
It
people
is
all the
real.
time, be prepared. New York, you know how cold it gets. You know what you've been through. So be prepared with anything that you can have. And look at your senior neighbor, or somebody with little kids, or somebody. I always think with the little dogs, how the heck do they get out in the snowstorm and go to the bathroom?
That's true. Well, on the Masked Singer, look, again, I think this is such a great platform to talk about all of this. I thoroughly enjoyed watching you. You mentioned roller boogie. We had Cher. We had lots of disco. Like, do you have a favorite type of music? Like, who are your favorites?
Ed Sheeran. And I probably would be remiss if I didn't say Rick Springfield, that because everybody, come on. I always get on him. I'm like, what's up with the Jesse's girl? He and I are still very close. That was, a very, very special relationship. And mom treated him as a son. His mom was in Australia, and it was a really beautiful young love, like Romeo and Juliet. We hold it very sacred, and it also shows people that the kindness. We parted the best that we could, even at a young age. It's really stressful for actors or entertainers to uh, have have relationships. There's a lot of people that are very successful at it. Paul Newman, Joanne Woodard, but there's others that really struggle because you're torn. One's on tour and one's on a set, and you're all over the place, and the demands are very, very difficult. Um,
Yeah.
Music wise, I love Ed Sheeran. Um, um, Golly, you know what? I love so many different kinds of music. And I knew that someday somebody would say, "Who's your favorite?" And I'd be like, "I don't know. I just listen to the radio."
Well, listen, there's nothing wrong with a little Rick Springfield. I've seen him many times in concert. Have you guys like kept in touch? Like, do you still keep in touch with Rick Springfield today?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I was saying. We're
Yeah.
very, very close. He's very supportive of the foundation, and that was our love, was the dogs. We had our own Jack Russell, that came from England. Um, and then he of course has his dogs. We're still emotionally bonded, and Barbara's wife, she understands. It's just like young love. We're not meant for the long, but we're meant for the friendship and to help animals as best we can. He asks his fans to, help us, help support animals in the community, and be, generous with volunteering and donating, which is so very important for any of us rescues, donations and volunteering, adopting, helping us to make a difference. So yeah, there's a lot of different artists that through the years. Sometimes I listen to country. Sometimes I listen to a lot of pop stuff. Um, I still don't. I'm still not into the classical all the time. I'm always like I should be. I'm of that age, but it almost makes me too calm, and I need to always be up and going and working. So you need a little pep in your step.
And absolutely. And speaking of the dogs, I think I was at a Rick Springfield concert where they were like auctioning off one of his guitars, and the proceeds were going, it probably was your charity. I don't know. The proceeds were going to help the dogs.
It very well could have been the Linda Blair World Heart Foundation. So that's
Yeah.
good. You saw it. We're people of our word.
I saw it firsthand. Do you remember, like, just going back to your first film, The Exorcist, like, what's it like to be a teenager and go to the Academy Awards? Like, I mean, did you,
Oh, good one. Good for you. Uh, like awestruck, awe-inspiring, amazing. So the first was the People's Choice Award. That was the first time they'd ever done that was the first People's Choice.
yeah.
And they actually just brought it to me in the hotel room. So I'm still waiting for the People's Choice to invite me back. I am the recipient of the very first People's Choice. It's been like 50 years. It's ridiculous. And then the Golden Globes. My mother made that beautiful gown. My mother was a great seamstress. Um, and then I remember sitting at the table. I remember when they announced my name. I remember you lose all sense of anything. Your whole body just goes out. You don't feel a thing. This when people say you're gone, like your body doesn't exist. It's like you just are in such shock and awe and surprise. It's like out of body. And I remember going to the stairs and going, "Oh, please, I don't want to trip." And it turning around, and the whole audience was giving me a standing ovation, and I just broke down in tears. I wasn't raised in Hollywood, so for me it was real. And there was a funny picture of Joel Gray in the back of me, look, looking at me like maybe he didn't understand the tears were. I was so overwhelmed, and
Yeah.
wasn't trained to give a speech. I was a kid. So when the Academy Awards came along, are you kidding? First of all, there's every movie star in the world. My mom and I couldn't believe it. Here's Charlton Heston, and the incredible folks that were there that year. The red carpet, and you're just like you're looking around at the throngs of people, and